Paris broke up because Hunt Sales, the drummer, got Bell's palsy and he couldn't tour. That's the thing that paralyzes your half your face from stress. And the band was unable to work for about 9 months, and I had been fooling around. I remember going up to my A&R man at Capitol Records, John Carter, and playing him a bunch of stuff. He said, good Lord, he said, they're all hits. I said, thanks, John. So let's just go in and cut some of these. And we did, and it just kind of evolved. And I said, well, it's really not the band anymore. It's not Paris anymore. It's really just me. We got a session drummer by the name of Alvin Taylor, who had played on all, Barry White hits, Donna Summer and all that, He actually played with piano, believe it or not, Eric Burden too. All kinds of great drummer. And we just put French Kiss together, and it just, and also simultaneous with that, Fleetwood Mac was like becoming #1. So it's like this whole momentum was building.
Exactly.
And I got Mick to agree to be my manager, and we had this, I would travel around with Mick promoting French Kiss while he was promoting the Fleetwood Mac album, and it was just,
Share the wealth.
Yeah, the world was our oyster. We could do no wrong.
Exactly.
Everybody was hot,
So that first album, it was really nice, and so you go in and you do 3 Hearts. Now, how does that proceed?
Well, French Kiss had three real strong chart hits on it.
Ebony Eyes, right?
Yeah, Ebony Eyes, Hot Love's Cold World, and 3 Hearts was an attempt to just keep going down the same road.
Right.
And there were a couple of top 10 or at least top 20, but I think 3 Hearts, Precious Love was got to number 16, I can't remember. The problem with that is right when 3 Hearts came out, 2 things happened. There was a recession in the record business where they fired 20% of the staff.
Right.
And the big thing that happened, though, was radio turned around, so the whole punk thing came in. And you had bands like The Knack and the Sex Pistols. And I remember being in the radio stations talking with the disc jockey about 3 Hearts while the record company guy was in the back room talking to the program director about, cutting the deal to get the Knack single played.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this whole thing of that time of how, dinosaur rock was out. There was a real wave toward the punk thing,
Right.
And so that whole perception, hurt that whole thing. Because 3 Hearts was the real slick, dinosaur, pop, rock, whatever you want to call it, Fleetwood Mac thing. And so the next album after that, I stripped it down to, just me and the band and jeans and...
That was the other one.
Yeah, I tried to simplify. And really, that's not simplify, but go black and white, from widescreen color to black and white, And that's pretty much... Lindsay did a parallel thing. Lindsay Buckingham and Fleetwood Mac did a parallel thing with the Tusk album. That was the whole rationale behind Tusk, was to go completely quirky from... Because people don't realize at the time, if you were having hits in like 77, 78, 79 was a watershed year. That entire punk sensibility really changed the la-di-da-di-da-di pop song forever.
Right, most of us were trying to get over it.
Real resistance to it. Radio did, they said, okay, dinosaur rock's over. Now it's got to be, the Ramones. And if you were Peter Frampton or Fleetwood Mac or me or Steve Miller or something like that, not to say you couldn't still have hits, but it was, you didn't own the world anymore.
Lincoln McCartney couldn't get arrested that year.
Yeah, exactly. Lennon, McCartney, the Monkees, all the stuff. The pop stuff really took a dive. And so I was kind of on the pop edge with French Kiss and 3 Hearts. It's because I wanted to, because my favorite music had always been the Motown, Lennon and McCartney, the Monkees. I mean, good Lord, they had some wonderful records. The Beach Boys, those great pop singles were just always my favorite.
Oh, sure.
But, there was a lot of critical and industry resistance to it. So the other one had to do with me trying to stretch out a little bit more, yet not be hard rock. It was, you know how it gets really nuts. Thankfully, I don't have to follow those kind of trends anymore.
Right.
I don't have to pay attention.
And so you could, at least when Man Overboard, you were just kind of searching for kind of a direction at that point?
Man Overboard was, you know, punk. The big band at the time Man Overboard came out was the Cars.
Right.
And frankly, I really did not like it all. What really bothered me about the whole punk evolution, the quirky thing that the critics liked so much was the vocals were so awful, you know.
Oh,
they all talk like, oh, you know.
Okay.
Even the, I mean, I hate to say this, some people will hate me, but the Talking Heads, I mean, it was a great band, but I couldn't stand their vocals. Their vocals really bothered me.
Gave you a headache.
Yeah, they all sounded like this, kind of like, they sounded like, you know, people speaking German through an English accent.
Oh, like,
I just didn't get it. My thing was, I really liked melodic, pretty singing, you know, and
right.
it was not hip anymore. So I did a couple things on the Man Overboard record to try to kind of like compete with, like the Cars, and there's some good stuff on that record. But, you know, it's not me, you know. And like I remember I had a guy say to me once, the kind of frustration it represented. I had a guy say to me once, when Sentimental Lady was a hit at its peak in '79, and there was also simultaneously, remember the band Boston was out at Big Hit. And the guy said, God, I really like your stuff. He said, but the thing is, it would be so much better if you could, you know, it'd be even that much better if you could, you know, sing it real high like that guy in Boston. And I kind of looked at him and said, yeah, well, you know, I'll have a talk with my mother and my father, and we'll see if we can redo the conception and get myself a higher. You know, I mean, that's like saying, you know, I'd like it if you were 5 inches taller. It's like, what are you going to do about it, you know?
Well, nothing.
It was that kind of frustration that was around in that era. It was like, I felt that, you know, and sometimes this good music, good sounding stuff, beautiful music had taken a back seat to this kind of quirky, deliberately funny sounding stuff.
Well, I mean, two things happened to us in the 70s, punk and disco, and to me it just kind of derailed everybody for a while.
Disco was, you know, like I've talked to a lot of people. I've heard Rod Stewart say he wishes he hadn't done Do You Think I'm Sexy. There was enormous pressure, actually, when I did the Three Hearts album, to do disco stuff. I mean, I had the executives at the record company saying, God, we got to have one thing, you know, this got to go.
Yeah, but it destroyed careers.
Oh, yeah.
It did.
And the trend thing is really what I didn't enjoy about it is you know, having to compete with them. And I even cut songs once or twice that, you know, I really did not like the songs at all. I mean, I generally didn't do outside songs, but I did do outside songs, you know, when it was politically necessary. And, you know, one song I cut, I remember the head promotion guy at Capitol Records thought it was his favorite song. He said, this is a hit. I want you to do this song.
I mean, I can remember being forced to do My Girl.
Sure.
You know, didn't want to do it, but, yeah, you know.
And this song, this guy was, you know, convinced. I mean, you know how the politics go.
Sure.
So when politics like that started to creep into it, it really stopped being fun. And of course, I kept trying to have that you know, I had some really big hits, and I kept wanting to, you know, if you have them, you keep wanting to do it, and you hope you can. And some people can't. In my case, I couldn't, you know, the hits, I mean, I thought I was doing my best, but the hits stopped coming.
Listen, I'm going to tell the tape.
You know,